Welcome back to BAS 121. We're working on Chapter 8. We're looking at Example 8.3, a new product investment, new product development, or some people would call it a net present value or investment alternatives, lots of different names. Here's the various assumptions they gave us. Market size in terms of units was 2 million. Monthly revenue is 130, monthly cost 40. They told us the discount rate for purposes of our net present value calculation was 9%. So discount rate just means that what rate do we discount our future earning streams back to put them all back to present value. They told us that the market was growing at 3%, and they told us our market share beginning was 8%, and our market share growth rate, I put GR to shorten it, our market share growth rate was growing at a healthy 20%. So, took these assumptions and laid this out by year. Now, I'll caution you, some people put the investments in this zero or beginning year. This author put them in the first year. You'll see different companies do it different ways depending upon how long it takes from when I invest to when I get my first revenue. So this is basically assuming that occurs all in the same year. But anyways, here are our market units. You can see we locked that in from there. And then here's where we're growing that by the growth rate it tells us. So it's this cell plus this cell times the growth rate. That gets us here. And then you can see the units are growing. It tells us our market share, our beginning market share, and then it tells us our growth rate. So we did the same thing. We took this and we grew it by the 20% and got all these. Then our sales unit is simply sales in terms of units. I apologize, I have the dollar signs on there. Our sales in terms of units are 160,000, which is just the 2 million, 8% of the 2 million. Here's our revenue, which is simply our 160,000 units times our unit price, which is $130. And because it's a monthly, we multiplied that by 12. Let me put the dollar signs on here. That's easy. Since I've got that, I just go to, I go over here to number. I change those to currency. And there, I have to widen this a little bit. And then these are units. I apologize. So that we're just going to change to numbers. So there you go. That lines up a little better. Now, here my first year, notice there's my net profit without the investment. And here I just subtracted out the investment. So for my cumulative net profit. So my revenue is 130 times the units times 12. My cost is my units sold times my cost per unit of 40 times 12 months. And then we just copied that across. And net profit is just my revenue minus my cost gives me my net profit. And then my cumulative is just, for the first year, it's this minus my original investment. That's why you see brackets, a big loss the first year. And then the next year, the cumulative is whatever I had before plus my current earnings. And then you can see in about the fourth year, we begin to make cumulative profit. Some people call that payback, where how long does it take to pay back the investment? The net present value calculation, if you remember this, and again, some people might do it a little differently, but you'd use the net present value function. So let me just do that. It shows it. Let me do it for you right here. If we say equals, and then we say tell us a function, we look up net present value. That's the net present value. Now it's asking us for the rate. I could type it in, or I could say that's the discount rate right there. The value, no, I'm going to take the value of my net profits, not include annual net profits. And I haven't included the investment, notice. Okay? So I'm going to say that's fine. And then I'm going to say minus whatever my investment was, which was that. And there, as you see, that's how I got the 185,404,000. And then, as you remember, you can graph these things by saying, you can make a pretty graph by simply saying, oh, let's put years on the x-axis, highlight those, touch the control key, and then I want to see net profit and cumulative profits. And then I just say insert, a scatter plot, and there you go. And all I did, there's the chart. All I did down here for you below is put in a nice title and labeled one of the axes, and I put these back. But here you can see where you begin to make breakthrough between the third and fourth year. That's when you get your money back on the investment. And from a net present value perspective, you have a pretty healthy earnings on this net present value. You make a cumulative over 5 years of $529 million, which in terms of current dollars, which is what the net present value is $185 million. So there's a model that'll allow you to look at new product development, investments, to see if future cash flows justify a relatively large investment. Hope that helps. Any questions, let me know.